first in the squad today, playing in the number 9 jersey. And we know that at times they can be fabulous, but they have let themselves down in recent games here on their home track too, with sluggish starts. Eden Ackland is in today, and he'll be at standoff and making way. Aaron Clark moves into the back row, as mentioned in the pre-game build-up. But this is a significant challenge for Kelvin Wright's young squad. Of course, their goal now would be to make the 8. The Warriors have won the championship, coming in at the back end of the top 8. And so they know that that can be done. In control today is Chris Butler. Casey Badger is his assistant, with Chris McMillan and Kenna Waikai on the sides here this afternoon. Bit of a sou'wester in Auckland, and that will favour the Roosters in the first half. Glad to have you along. Roosters running right to left. We're about to get underway, just waiting for the start from our referee, and we're underway. So the kickoff, Jesse Marschke normally plays with his twin, Ben, who's not in today. Victor Radley steps into the standoff position. He will be in jersey 14 for the Roosters. They've got some tremendous firepower. You've already mentioned Grant Garvey, Nat Butcher. The other ones to keep an eye out for. Their work rate is incomparable. They can really turn it on as Tavita Harris turns it inside. And a solid hit too for Aaron Clark, who'll play the ball just short of the 30-metre line.
It'll be interesting to see how the Warriors deal without the likes of Ogden and R4, who have had 100 games of experience in NYC. A big task there for Kinesi. And of course, Chris Hare, who's notably a back rower, comes in the front row. An exciting young talent, of course, is Chanel Harris Tavita, who's been in fine touch, and a young kid who's trying to stamp his authority in NYC.
Well, the tee is on the ground, and so the referee halts proceedings momentarily, gives us a chance to go sideline with Daryl. Warm welcome to you, Daryl.
Yeah, not so warm here, guys. The sun goes down. Sunset will be about 6 o'clock this evening, and we'll start to cool about then. Currently about 14 degrees sideline. It'll get down to 9. And just a quick note before we start, you'll notice the Roosters have come out and they're wearing black armbands. And that's for the great Shane Millard. He was the father of Daryl Millard, who played at the Bulldogs in the day. But he spent 30 years of his life coaching down the St George Illawarra area and was an assistant to Brian Smith back in the day. So our thoughts and prayers are you with the family of Shane Millard.
Thank you, Daryl. Looking forward to your contributions too from the side as well, mates, as we see the Roosters with it. This young man here at the back, well, we've already heard of his running prowess from last week. Nat Butcher clocked up 266 metres in the good victory over Melbourne, 42-20. And at the back, Kane Talia, an exciting young prospect, and he seems to be growing in confidence the more game time he is getting. The Warriors have possession on their 20-metre line.
Well, he's certainly one player that comes from an area of Glen Innes and Panmure area, which has brought out guys like Sean Hoppy, Tony and Kevin Edo, and some prominent others that have come through that grade. Obviously, I lived in Panmure, so there's a great few number of players that have come through that. Give yourself a wrap.
Yeah, why not, though? It's the keen leaguey people out there in GI and Panmure. A wonderful little community here in Auckland's eastern suburbs. As we see the Warriors with the football, Aaron Clark, well, he might be playing as a 13. He's still got the 6 jersey on, and the responsibilities for much of the kicking game will fall into his hands and boot. The Roosters with the football on their 30-metre line. So we've asked a Sheck. Comes in. So the big loss to the rugby league fans here in Auckland. Of course, Roger was such a hit when he first arrived here. We know that he is unavailable until next season now. But in the build-up to today's big feature, he will join the boys, Monty and Tarahi, the pre-game build-up to the 6 o'clock kickoff. Roger with the football, Jesse Marschke again, and one of the big units. This is Sukamanu Raki with a strong carry, 12 metres out from the try line. Openings both sides now for the Roosters. There's the kick into the end goal, or aiming to be. Kane Talia gets a hold of it and gets out about 6 or 7 metres from the line.
Yeah, good positional play there from Kane Talia. He really is starting to shine, and his positional play, his support play is second to none. And I really like the look of this kid. He really does stamp his authority on the match, and every game he plays, he learns the aspect of the fullback role.
The Mount Wellington Warriors premiers, Kane Talia, Clark and Harris DeVito on the far side. So the Warriors just finding their feet here early in the game. You mentioned a bit of a wind there at the start of the game. Could you tell us how you read it, please, Darryl?
Yeah, it seems to be gusting a little bit, not really a lot in it, with a couple of puffs coming down the field. As you see, a nice left foot kick being put down to the left side of the football field. The will favour the Roosters, and it's sort of coming from the south. I don't actually expect, as the clouds get up, that it's going to build to anything more.
You wonder about the legacy or the lineage that we're witnessing here as we see a young Bradley Mullins. Of course, there's expectations that he'd have the same skill set as his dad, who was exceptional, of course, with Canberra, and his grandfather. But isn't it great that, well, one of the good things about growing old, I guess, Richie Barnett, is that you're able to see entire careers of wonderful athletes, and sometimes lucky enough to see them replicated over years.
Well, it's anything to do with his father or his grandfather, scoring 100 tries apiece for both Bill and Brett Mullins. Well, he's certainly come from the right lineage, and looking forward to see what he can provide today.
Important that the Warriors are stoic in their defence here, because we know that they haven't started so well in many of their games at home this season. Ruben Porter to play the ball, another of the Kiwi connections. There's 3 or 4 guys in this Roosters squad who have connections to NZ. Ruben Porter, the Tautatu Roosters. So from one Roosters club, he goes to the Roosters club across the Tasman. Little knock on there from Maschke, which is a German surname. These boys, him and his twin brother, from the Brisbane area.
They'll be disappointed in that. They were building nicely, the Roosters here. They had some good field position, repeat sets of 6 as well, making the Warriors come out of their own end. Their first real mistake. When I watch these guys warm up, I had a look at Johnny Tuivasa-Sheck, Richie, and let me tell you, well, Roger might have got some footwork. Johnny wasn't too far away from the table, mate. He is a solid man.
But I guess they've had a whole lot of fun in the backyard. That's where a lot of those great plays are developed. Almost a telepathic communication style, many brothers just expect their run on the inside from their younger or older brothers and pop the passes to make for really entertaining football. The Warriors with it now, and Sheldon Petum peels away before Kinesi gets hold of the footy. Kinesi still at school at Mundadua High School, and has got an additional couple of years of eligibility. Kinesi played New Zealand 18s last year, and a big ask for him here. He's probably the heaviest on field for the Warriors. What is a lightweight team, but plenty of zip, plenty of flair. Let's see how we go with the number 13 carry here, just across the line. It's Chris Seal, of course. Chris playing in the front row today. There's the launch and the pressure on at the back, taking it with skill and confidence. It's Bradley Mullins. He's put away now centre field and 25 metres out from the Roosters line.
Well, you'd expect for the Roosters now to gain some momentum, really get to their kick. The 5th kick option hasn't been great. Obviously, they knocked it on earlier on, but certainly you can see the shape of the Roosters, and I'm sure they'll want to get to the completion in this set.
There's a high shot, and as you can hear, mic'd up with the referee.
Dale, conversely to what Richard's saying as well, when the Warriors work it out of their in-goal area and you've got Pitama kicking the football, I'd really like to have a look at Ackland step up and have a look at his kicking game, and also Harris Tavita. I think more naturally gifted players, they can actually find some space and some ground with the football instead of the opposition catching it on the full.
Yeah, it's Aaron Clark who's taken that role in the kicking department, and I'm quite surprised that we haven't had Ackland take that role. I guess the experience around Aaron Clark has been in fine touch, to be fair.
This is danger times for the Warriors. There's a surging run for Famosili. He'll play it just out from the try line now. Grant Garvey has the ball. He'll work it through Maschke to the back row of Butcher now, looking to get the offload, but Butcher will take the tackle right in front of the post. Great chance for the Roosters to draw first blood. 8 minutes gone. And there is the ball, and it's been charred loose, and a crunching tackle from Joey Price.
Geez, that was a good set there. You can just see the outside-in run of the big boppers of Rakek for the Roosters coming through. It was a tough and a courageous line, but it was well read there from Joseph Price to come up with a big tackle. Look at this, outside in, and he aimed him up. A good shoulder tackle there for the Warriors, and a way to get the ball back.
Well, it had to be interrupted, didn't it? You just got the feeling that Raki was heading for the line, so a solid jolt from Joseph Price. The Warriors will get the scrum feed, and Eden Ackland steps up to do the job, 10 metres out from his own line. We've seen him just the once so far on television coverage as Joe Ponga gets hold of the ball, almost busts free. Good run from him. Jared Anderson struggled to contain him. Ponga will play it just short of the 30. Bit of a roll on here as the Warriors get themselves involved early. And Sukamanu Raki makes the tackle. The Warriors just short of the halfway now. Tackle number 2. Wanting to quick play the ball. It wasn't allowed. And quite rightly, the Warriors will get a chance to kick towards the touchline. Lights on already here at Mount Smart Stadium.
It's certainly going to get cold, isn't it, for the main game? And there's never been an issue with the Warriors getting out of yards. Their backs seem to come in with good footwork. Junior Ponga starting off the set in great fashion. But it's been the opportunities that they've missed in the last couple of games. I thought their third quarter too in the last couple of matches have let them down. So I'm sure we'll be able to keep an eye on the third quarter.
Some gutsy play here at the moment from the Warriors. They're just trying to set the stage. Here's Aaron Clark, first receiver, finds Ackland. He'll go back door. Nice little ball out to Talia. He hits himself into the line. He's wrapped up in the tackle there of Ryan Kang and will play it just out from the try line. The Warriors with a great chance on attack. Here is Clark. Again, the back door for Tavita. Harris Tavita. And Chanel's put away. Only 5 metres out from the try line. Will the Warriors get across the line? 10 gone. Here is Clark. Ackland and Price. Margaret East Jr. is wrapped up in the tackle there too of Kaya Cooper. A repeat play, needed a quick pass. Ackland's had the ball go to ground. It's snaffled on by Brendan Lewis.
It's got forward into the Roosters player.
She's doing a great job there for the Roosters defence, just charging, coming out and in defence from the Roosters, but they really handled that well. The Warriors trying to throw everything at them, asking questions defensively, but the Roosters responded in great fashion. Look at this, just outside in, really aiming up, putting pressure. Line speed was superb there from the Roosters.
Also some learnings here for the junior Warriors in their halves. When they get close to the line and in the A area for attack, they need to find some depth on the outside. And the runners on the outside need to be instructed to hold their line, because the line speed's always going to be big as a high shot here comes in. But they need to buy some time with the football in their hands.
So the Roosters, 11 gone. Mashke will kick towards the western touchline. They'll take receipt of the footy. Midway between the 30 and 40. Lewis steps up for that responsibility to take the tap. The Warriors on D. Samir making the tackle. Assisted there by Joseph Price. As we see another good run here from Fa'amo Sealy. Just into enemy territory for Big Poasa. Also has those Kiwi connections as well. Glenn Ora-Beers played junior footy as a rep player for the Akarana franchise in our national junior comps. Poasa going gangbusters here for the Roosters. Cooper again. To ground on the 30-metre line. Mashke and Fa'amau Silly again with the football. Good direct running from him too. It's the 5th and final tackle though. He'll play it midway between the 20 and 30. Mashke rubbers it through. Somia has it 5 or 6 metres from his own line. Can't do much with it as the Roosters defenders come up quickly. But he did enough to cover the ball, and Kane Talia gets a chance to work it away from their danger zone.
Oh, looked too easy, really, the kicking game of the Roosters. Not on song along the ground, but it was just swallowed up easily for the Warriors. They need to change and maybe look at other options with the high ball and apply pressure there. 50-50 proposition there. But certainly they need to change that.
Well, that's a strip. Suspect a lost ball. Play on, says the referee, as Butcher comes up with it. Then he's upended. And it will be Aaron Clark who will face the ire of the referee.
Hold for the kick. Hold in the middle.
12 gone, still no score here.
They're good, mate.
It's a big scores at times. This time Ryan King loads up with the run.
We're on one. Yep, we're on one.
Fa'amo Silly again. He's only 7 metres away from the try line. The ground in terrific condition here. They'll be enjoying the conditions, both squads. Again, the back row, Butcher can't free his arms. The Warriors know exactly where the danger lies. 3 men set upon him. Little dummy. Muskie almost trying to slice through. He didn't quite get there. And he's to ground 5 metres out from the try line. Great chance for the Roosters. There's a grubber kicked into the end goal and picked up well by Cooper. That's the start. Classy finish. And the Roosters looking good here.
Well, that's a great option there. Nice little kick from Marshke. Followed through by Kaya Cooper, who just swallowed that ball up. Fullback there, Kane Talia, not in the right position, but it was a great kick and a great chase there from Kaya.
What I like about this is it's predetermined. They played to the middle of the field, went straight up with 2 big hits, and then they knew what they were doing. Stepped straight out of dummy half and a nice little left foot kick through the line. And there was really only one contest, and that was for Kaya Cooper himself.
Cooper, obviously a good player. He had a hit out as a young fellow with the West Newcastle Rosellas. 95 kgs, quite a sizable centre. And there's good communication there with his inside men. Boise Nelson, the co-coach of the squad, and they're giving some assistance to Kelvin Wright, working with his team behind the scenes. So, took 13 minutes. The Roosters are in first. Ryan King with the kicking responsibilities today.
They just look like when they're starting to build some pressure, they just look threatening, the Roosters. Their shape looks great. Their back rowers, I think, look superb, and Ruben Porter and King. And, of course, we add Nat Butcher in the back row, and I think that's an attacking threat right across the board.
So Ryan King looking for the extra 2 points. This time away to the left, and it's at 4-0. Well, we went down and introduced ourselves to a couple of the young guys as they were preparing themselves out on the track. And their eyes lit up a little as we get another look at Cooper. Good finish.
Dale, it's unfortunate, the life of a goal kicker, isn't it? I watched in the pre-warm-up and he had that lined up, King, and he would have done 7 from that spot and nailed every one of them perfectly. He comes out and kicks 8 on his first, and it just heads off left. Got a feel for him.
So the Warriors now need to defend. A flying hit up to return the football. Just getting back to the young guys we out on the field briefly prior to the game, and of course introduced ourselves, both Richie and myself, saying we're commentating your game. And Richie actually played for the Roosters, but these guys would have been probably at preschool when you were running around there, Richie. But their eyes did light up actually when I said that you were a Rooster, so they thought, oh well, we'll get a decent shot from the commentary team in New Zealand. That'll be the hope of it anyway.
Nice kids. They're actually glad that the weather was suitable for footy, and obviously Sydney's had some bad weather, so they were quite amped to get out there and play some footy.
Lucky has the football. They'll play it on the 40-metre line. Little left foot chip over the top to I thought it would be Talia, but Samir gets hold of the football and runs straight back into Marshke. He took what I thought was a big knock, but to his credit, he's up quickly. Enacton comes into dummy half, and the Warriors on the fly here through Talia. He'll play the football 35 out from the line. Here's a touch of the ball for Faith Totoa. He hasn't had many opportunities with leather in hand. Now it's through the hands. Harris DeVito on the far side. Straightening on the run is Joe Vuna. Plenty of connections to the Otahu College, featuring prominently too in this year's under-20 squad, Joseph Vuna.
Well, that just was a superb tackle there. Absolute superb. Look at this. All ball, all tackle. That was a great run from Susumia, and he's been in great form. Try scoring whiz, but his ability to get out of trouble. Look at this, running with purpose, and look at that.
Richie, I was trying to think of the players we've had out wide and some of the outside backs that come through the ranks here in New Zealand, and they call them the tough yards. And we are so blessed to have so many players like this Samir. In fact, I wonder if the Roosters will start kicking to the other wing in the second half, because his yardage out of dummy half in this first 20 minutes of this match has been exceptional. Every carry he's had, he's won the contest, got up and played the ball quickly, and has left some damage and some carnage in his way.
Possession favouring our visitors from Australia. Shot Bernard Lewis. We look at the completion rate of 82% for the visitors, the Roosters. Solid work there from Jared Anderson. He's accounted for by Joseph Price, who's working hard on defence. It's his 11th tackle. Some big units out there. Ryan King plays the ball on the halfway line. Johnny Tuivasa-Sheck tries to bust his way through the middle, keeps the legs driving, and will play it midway 30 and 40. Great opportunity for the Roosters to go back-to-back here as Nat Butcher gets a little offload to Garvey. Garvey throws the dummy, but isolated there in the middle, and he'll take the tackle. Or will he? Eventually he's shut down, but it took a fair bit of work, didn't it? Alfred Smalley across the top. That's him in the headgear on debut today. Carriers for Amo Sealy. Poasa back slammed here. 15 out from the try line. Muskie puts it into the end goal. And a dive at it too. I don't think it came off of Victor Radley, but he gave himself a chance.
In the middle with your foot. On 0.
Harris Tavita, quick tap. And he's picked up 15 or 16 metres too, cleverly. Quick play, the ball is delivered here as the Warriors come back, this time through Paonga. Good leg drive for him too, gets him across into enemy territory. Aiden Ackland steps into acting half, and Samir comes at them again. Marshke puts the tackle on, he'll play it on the 30. Here comes Joseph Price, runs straight into Garvey. And Garvey and his teammate, Butcher, wrap him up. Here's Pitama, little dummy, and straightening on the run. Back to Eden Ackland, steps inside. Ackland still going. Ackland into score. Well, he might be only a wisp of a kid, but he's got a big heart, and he's in beside the post.
What exceptional try. It looked ominous there, and he just took off his right foot, stepped. His desire to get to the try line was superb, but you can hand it over to the outside backs for the Warriors. Junior Paonga, Sosomia coming in, doing the hard yards, as Darryl said, but it was the desire there from number 14 to get through the ball. It was so close, but it was here, Aaron Clark. I thought he took the right option to go right, but oh no, it's the right option, because this young kid is in fine touch.
Well, the Roosters went within a whiskey, didn't they, of scoring at the other end of the field. And then we talked about the hard running of Solsamir and Ponga. And as they were working their way up the football field, I was just wondering where the halves were and what they were doing. What were they conjuring up? Were they conjuring up some plays on the outside and step up to the plate? Aiden Ackland here, he shows it on the outside. Skinny, slight built, would be 75 kilos, wringing wet, but he just showed some desire and enough footwork to sort of scramble to the line. Well done.
Well, you're an amazing dude, DJ. You can read the weather from afar, and you can tell weight from a glimpse, so you're a good man. But I tell you what, he's also a very bright kid, school-wise, and I know the family have high hopes for him. A doctor, a lawyer, but more so a rugby league man.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I remember watching the game quite some time ago, and his energy, enthusiasm was second to none. He was just absolutely brilliant, this young kid. And it's great to see a skinny little man going out doing the business.
You know, there'd be plenty of talk about rugby league around their kitchen table, that's for sure.
So, see, the game caters for all, and that's what we love.
You're quite right there. You know, the little guys have a huge influence on the game. Here's Kane Talia. Strikes it beautifully up into the southern stand. Here's your try scorer, Eden Ackland. He had a lot of work to do. There is his dear old dad. His mum as well. John Ackland, long-time coach here in the 20s with the Warriors.
I've always wondered if John had a little bit of French in him, or he's developed a little bit of French over the years.
Bonjour. To get underway here. 22 minutes gone. 6-4 is the scoreline. Chanel. Harris Tavita. Passes on for the runners. Surging into the defensive line too. Kinesia first up, then Vuna. Luke Chalker is on in 17. Chalker with connections to Shell Harbour. Played for the Stingrays there as a youngster. A bit of size about him too, 100 kgs. Warriors with the football, that'll give them plenty of confidence as well. It was 42-20. Great touch, the Roosters, as we see the step back on the inside for Joseph Price. Joey Price, maybe his third year with the under-20s. Here's the kick, a tester. Tuivasa-Sheck had some problems with it. Chanel Harris-Tavita realises he's heading towards the touchline. Flicks the ball back to Junior Paunga. He'll come back on the inside and then straighten. And it is Butcher that makes the tackle. Warriors get the penalty. Let's have a look at some of the stats. Completion rates about even, mid-70s.
Yeah, the errors are a piece, 3 apiece, and offloads in favour of the Roosters, which is quite surprising. And I guess when you haven't got Ogden or Bunty R4 in the side, who are constant offloaders, and 100 games of experience, I guess they start to play a pretty simple style of football.
So Chris Sewell gets the ball back for Aaron Clark. Here he is, just ducking and spinning and just trying to trouble them big time. Decoy running though, and Aaron Clark looks up. I enjoy his style of football though. He's a very competitive young bloke.
Right behind him and then taking an advantage.
Enjoys his footy, as you can see. Let's have another look here. Stepping back on the inside.
Yes.
Well, the ref read it, didn't he? A little 50-50 call, but again, the defence of the Roosters aiming right up. And that's just great defence again. And it's the outside backs, along with Joseph Price, who's defended extremely well in the first half.
Here's Chalker with the football.
Let's go down, nine.
Reminds me of the style of the commentary team. We've got, of course, the international darts characters in Auckland at the moment. And our friend Stephen McIver, he's out there as we speak. Not like the croaky voiced 180.
They just can't seem to get the ball on the right edge, can they? Jared Anderson waiting, baiting, trying to get the ball out, but the defence of the Warriors rushing up and cutting the ball off.
Been good play from the Warriors here defensively and looking to just dribble the ball through and to regather is Grant Garvey. But Ackland snaffles the football. Now the Warriors will work it away from the red zone on the 20-metre line. It's been an intriguing game. 25 minutes gone, just the 2 tries so far. 6-4 the scoreline. This one for Cooper after 13.
15.
If there's something they're winning the battle, and that's the line breaks, 3 line breaks for the Warriors, and that's to do with the outside backs coming in. We spoke about Susumere or Paunga that come in and such dynamic through the drive through the tackle, exceptional, and the footwork at the line is just superb.
Well, it's about control, isn't it? Learning how to manage the game. Here's the kick from Harris-Tavita, who is improving all the time. Tuivasa-Sheck gets hold of it. Got a lot of work in the gym. There's his brother, Roger the Dodge. Jared Anderson with the football. He'll play it just outside his 20-metre line. Some of the forwards are a little slow to retreat at the moment for the Roosters. Will be of some concern to the coach Barnes. Casey Badger out there in the mix as well this afternoon. Kaya Cooper with the football. You see number 18. This is Bailey Fall. A big unit fall. Another penalty.
Your last set, tackle 5
Here's your mark.
This one you got the hand on the ball.
Here's your mark, guys.
6-2. Penalty count already to the Sydney Roosters. Well, it's a low trajectory, but it does the business for the Roosters. Who'll take receipt. 25 metres out and a great opportunity for them here. 13 to play until the half-time break. Now the Roosters will wind themselves up. First up, a settler. Attracting 3 defenders too. Ruben Porter with the carry. Slow to his feet this time, and Garvey gets it to Chalker. Driven back in a solid piece of defence too from Joseph Price. So Chalker to his feet. 12 metres out from the line. This is tough, and it's just King who's in to score. King, no problem. Victor Radley got on the ball. King just kept going, kept driving. The Warriors tried to hold him back. In the end, he was just too strong.
Yeah, King, that was superb running. Great lines. They're not getting the ball out to the wings, but certainly they're hitting the lead runner. And I think that's probably the message sent early on, is to cut back against the grain. And they've got such prominent back rolls and strong players through that tackle. You've got to play to your strength. This is a great run, really determined. The Warriors going too high, not getting the shoulder. And
he's a big unit and a real talent too. He's Ryan King. And, he's from the West Illawarra Devils. Strong area for rugby league development, the steel city of Wollongong, and now south of Sydney City. Ryan King, well, he just was not going to be stopped there that time. Glad to have you along if you've just joined in. Of course, a late kickoff here for our main game, 6:10 scheduled kickoff time for the Brems. The under-20s here at the moment, 8-6. It's in B10. Ryan King, the kicker. He's about 15 metres to the left-hand side of the posts. Should have no trouble with it, and he doesn't. So he gets the full complement, doesn't he, this time around? But he had a bit of work to do when he took hold of the ball, but his intent was quite obvious. And a very strong young player.
yeah, just look at the aggressive running style there. And it's a hard carry to take, running outside in, but he certainly did that extremely well. And it's timely too. I really did think that the Roosters, with the penalties they've had 6-2, that building pressure and capitalising on the penalties, they've been given 6 so far in the first half. You think they would have gained some sort of momentum, and that was the opportunity, converting it as well.
Well, they'll have to fancy their chances from close range now, won't they? Cooper getting across, but that was from the grubber kick into the end goal. Matt Butcher has the most hit-ups in the competition. He started the game with 221 carries. Sheldon Pietama is one of the top tacklers, the skipper for the Warriors in the comp. He's second on the tackle count with 465 tackles to his name. Speaking of Butcher, looking for the offload, but it's just drifted forward as well. So they'll be called back here. The Warriors indeed will breathe a sigh of relief. 16 tackles behind or beside Joe Price's name. Clark's working hard too with 12. 15 for Pietama, the skipper. 13 for Kinesi.
Let's form together, guys. Bring it in. Bring it in, Warriors.
Looking on the bench here as we witness a pretty decent sort of a day here in Auckland City.
Heads in.
A great night for rugby league.
Let's go.
Boys, I'll give you a go, call. It's right, eh? Hold there.
Outside leg forward.
Have you enjoyed the development of Tavita Harris's or Harris Tavita's game?
Yeah, I think he's trying to operate that left-hand channel, and he's trying to come up with some opportunities, and at times he look at this. Junior Ponga again coming through.
Can go the kid. Here he goes. He's getting chased down too. Credit to the fullback who gets hold of him late. Bradley Mullins, he needs a quick play of the ball. Talia is there. Where are the Warriors? Well, numbers are plenty if they can just hold on to the football. This is to the corner, and the Warriors charge towards the line. Great line defence there from the Roosters. Quite brilliant, to be honest, and that ball's gone behind all of the players. Kane Talia gets hold of it, but what a break from Junior Ponga. Surging down the field. Mullins gets him with just a few metres to play. Brilliant play. Out it comes now to Clark. He tries to punch a hole in the defensive line himself. He's not a tall player, but he's very, very strong. And he's held down. Good play here from the Roosters. Pietama goes from dummy half, a spinning run, not across the line. I don't think the referee will have enough to call that a try.
Last tackle held up.
Last tackle and held up. So the Warriors with one more chance. They'll be disappointed if they don't come away with points after that great play from Ponga. Here's the grubber kick into the end goal, and the Roosters will go under the crossbar for the first time this afternoon.
Well, Aaron Clark's taking control. A nice little ball early on. It looked like a try-scoring opportunity, but it was the ability of this man here, Junior Ponga, really, look at his face expression. He really was desperate to get through that tackle. Right foot step, chimes through the line, and Aaron Clark just comes on and a nice little shift to Tavita. Tavita probably should have gone through the hands there and created a bit more opportunities, but he did the right thing. A little bit of composure there from Chanel.
The Warriors will have the football now. 28 metres out from their line is Harris Tavita. Pushes it on. It's number 10, Matthias Heimuli is on. Clark for Ackland. A little dummy for Ackland again. He'll do it again. Ho-ho! Yes, indeed, young Eden Ackland. That's his second for the afternoon.
I think it's a smart play from Ackland again, using up players on the outside as a foil. And he just came at the line at 100 mile an hour and used up supporting runners as his way through the line. And he never stops trying, this young kid. Great to see. He's got a headband on. Looks like a real league player. Look at this. Uses up the number 15 for the Warriors, but chimes through. Well done.
It's a good team try, that. You have a look at all the players that are around young Ackland, all wanting the football, and them all wanting the football takes the pressure off himself. Good block shape to set up on the outside. Clark, it was who took it to the line. He's feeling the effects of maybe the tackle as he scores and lands on the football, I think, in the ribs as young Ackland. But it was a good team try. Options on the outside. Kane Talia was sweeping around the back and took two defenders off him, opened up, showed enough toe, and over he went.
We'll hope it's not ribs and maybe just winded, landing on the football. He looks okay, says, I'm sweet to go again. Well, he's got some skills, there's no doubt about that. Reads the play well and backs himself. You've got to like that.
Just intent, really, isn't it? Just the enthusiasm that he shows. It's the key in any game. No matter what shape you are, you just show that intent. And the smarts too, obviously. He plays that extremely well, manages the side around extremely well too.
I want to pay a bit of a tribute to Junior Ponga. We've seen him time and time again bust the line. He's just, when he gets to the defensive line, he's got a little shimmy that keeps the defenders in two minds and then punches a hole through. There were some good defenders around him that time. And I think that he left Jared Anderson in his wake, the number 3. Got up a bit sore and sorry, but Ponga careered down the field and really half expected him to get across the line. A few minutes later, though, the job done by Ackland. Here's Talia looking for the extras, and he hits it well, raises the flags also. A 2-point advantage. We're just on 4.5 minutes to play. There is your try scorer, Aiden Ackland. You see Warriors getting themselves ready for action. Little dummy again. It's twice now he's used that ploy close to the line.
Yeah, it's 2 tries so far, the young kid. He'll be so happy with that. Confidence will be building. Every time he's been on TV, he's certainly shown that he's got capability and skill set available. But again, as you said before, Dale, it was the outside backs that are proven to be a great asset to the side.
I think it was Darryl pointing or looking at that side of their play. DJ, they've got some good outside men and a ton of wheels.
They have. What I'd like to see here, when we talk about the hard yards and the runs done off your own line for the Warriors here, I'd like to see another player in the frame. So I'd like to see someone on the outside pushing up and taking some pressure off the ball runner. So often we see some one-out runs with no support.
Well, Matthew Faitoa hasn't had enough of the ball, has he, down the left side. Somir, a bit more experience, has been coming in to look for the work that you allude to. As we see the Warriors just across and into their opponent's half through Chris Seal. Had a strong game last week, Chris. That ball's going end over end and will go across the dead ball line for a restart on the 20. Just on 3.5 to play till half time.
And just what we talked about earlier too, quickly, I'll jump in again here, Dale. Lovely to see the kicking game of Harris here. I mean, he's got a lovely left foot on him. So why doesn't he get himself involved early in the game and set the tone of the match and progress his kicking game courtesy of this level of football, and then we'll see what he's got when it's time to step up.
Isn't Aaron Clark showing versatility, though? We've seen him at 7 and 6, now playing as a back rower to allow for Aiden Ackland to team up with Harris Tavita. But he's certainly got a lot of strings to his bow.
And he's the player, really, that's taking control, Aaron Clark. he's taken the reins, and I guess with Chanel, it's trying to bide his time on the left-hand side. I know he's got a lovely kicking game from left foot on that left channel, but he'll just bide his time. And I think the thing with Chanel is just trying to have some poise and patience with the ball and not trying to score off every set. It's just working the team around.
The Roosters have hold of the football, fall.
Work it to me. And square. Stay square. Go. Yeah, we're on one.
Straightly on the run is Luke Chalker. He'll play it 30 or so metres out from the try line. This is a good chance for the Roosters to add to their count. The ball has gone backwards. In fact, it's drifted forward, so the Warriors will get the scrum feed here.
Well, they've adjusted well now, the Warriors. They've realised that the Roosters are hitting the lead runners, so they're moving up, really applying the pressure on their back rowers and coming up with the goods.
Form together, guys.
Just reminding you, if you've just joined us here for our broadcast this afternoon of the doubleheader from Mount Smart Stadium, the Roosters in 6th position coming into today's fixture. The Warriors in 12th, fighting for their survival with this home game. Scrum feed on their 20. Counted down towards the half-time break, this time through Ponga. I like the way that Talia reads the game. He's got good vision from the back, comes in.
Yeah, I think also it's probably an appropriate time for him to come in and support the outside backs when they do take the line, as Darryl said before, and that he can only push up just in case. A Terry Lamb type of support play, punching through the middle and just in case.
15 up to players Jerome Mamia. Jerome's formerly from Mount Rossell, made his debut just last week. Maybe enjoying himself out there at the moment. We're in for a cracker second half, so you get the feeling as Harris Tavita gets the kick up. It's an awkward little kick too, bounces into the hands of Mullins. Then he's nailed. Clark upstairs. Harris Tavita down. 22 out from their own line, the Roosters. Tuvasa Shek gets himself involved.
Short side.
Square, get square. That's better. Good work, Johnny.
Mushke. It's missing his brother and the wizardry that brothers can sometimes provide. Twins especially. 19 is Sitili Topu Nua.
Let him go.
Mullins trying to find his way through. The Hoodoo in the background. An interesting first half of football. We're going to enjoy the second of that. There is little doubt. But at the break, it's 12-10. The Warriors lead the Roosters here in the Holden Cup.